Okay, for real this time. We've still got a little bit of downloads going until we can play the PTB, but Stranger Things 2 is here. I haven't really seen anything yet other than a brief skim read at the top of this. We're going to have a little bit of a nosedive in to the PTB patch notes while these couple of other downloads do. I might well get bored and pause them to just play the PTB tonight. Yeah, we're going to have a quick look into what we can expect. We've got Vecna. Vecna's got a Vine attack that creates small area of effect damage. This is actually, as far as I'm aware, pretty new. I don't think we've had like an AoE attack in Dead by Daylight before that I remember. So I guess maybe you could say Freddy's old snares when he was terrible and boring, but no, I don't think so, because they didn't damage. So yeah, I think this is the first time we've really had an AoE damage effect in the game, which is pretty cool. And he builds up these World Breaker tokens. I'm not sure what these do yet, I didn't get that far. He can also teleport, creating another AoE when he emerges, which grants twice as many World Breaker tokens. Special condition item, World Breaker and Grandfather Clocks. Once a survivor has gained enough tokens, World Breaker activates, and the World Breaker timer begins. While World Breaker is active, both Vine attack and Unnegate attacks do damage to survivors instead of adding World Breaker tokens, and 4 Grandfather Clocks activate. Okay, this is sounding a bit less original, a bit more Freddy now. World Breaker lasts for a predetermined amount of time based on the number of survivors alive. Survivors can interact with Grandfather Clocks spread around the map to speed up the World Breaker timer. You know what? I will give them credit first of all, simply because that is a super short and snappy killer power description. Some of the killer powers lately have been described in a way that is so wordy and so unnecessarily complex, or sometimes necessarily complex, that it just becomes impossible to grasp, really, without playing it for yourself and getting some first-hand experience. But this is quick, it's ascertainable, it's not just a blinding block of text, and it gets the point across with I don't know if this sounds all that clever. I think this works like a trap. I think this is supposed to be a trap killer. I'm pretty sure. Which is interesting, really interesting. Because I never thought they'd design another trap killer again. Oh no, it's not. It's like a zone, isn't it? Okay. If it's like an AoE, it's probably not a trigger thing. It's a you have this time for it to work thing. Which is curious. Okay. The World Breaker Grandfather Clock thing. I don't know. World Breaker. It seems to be like an individual survivor thing. I really don't know how strong, how weak this is going to be. It doesn't sound all that crazy to me. I guess it really depends on how big the Vine attack is, I suppose. That will be a big factor. There's no stealth. That's something I like. There has been a habit, especially for licensed characters for years, to fall back on some form of stealth ability, which I have mildly resented because, you know, not every single killer is represented by stealth and jump scares, as much as a lot of them are, which fair enough. I'm glad they didn't do that this time. Let's take a look at the perk descriptions, because I don't know what else to say about the power just yet until I've played with it a bit. Turn back the clock. After hooking a survivor for 60 seconds, Press ability button 1. Killers have a perk ability button now. That's new, isn't it? I know survivors have like E for dead hard and a second ability button. I don't think killers have had a perk ability button before, have they? To make target generator within 20 meters explode, losing 10% progress and starting to regress. Oh, okay. So it's a remote pop, like a mid-range kind of pop. Interesting. Ooh. I kinda like that. I think that's pretty clever, pretty modern. I think that's cool as fuck. Okay. Cool, turn back the clock. Might be a fun new little regression perk to play with. Secret project. When a totem is blessed or cleansed, block a random unblocked generator for 30 seconds. Okay. It sounds... You could definitely make that work, I think, if you ran, like, maybe Plaything, maybe, like, a Devour Thrill build, make it nasty, you know, bit of dominance, takes ages to cleanse the totem, then they get punished with gen slowdown for doing it. When one or more generators become blocked, you gain undetectable for 30 seconds. Okay. Oh. Wait, I think that with Plaything would be really fun, actually, having read that second effect. I think you could really make that... It would only be a thing you could do once or twice per game, I think. There's, what, 7 totems in a match, and you can light as many as 5. No. There's 5 totems in a match, and you can light them all. No. Wait. How many... Hex totems spawn in DBD. Ignore you. All trials spawn with 5 random totems. Cool. And you can light them all with like Plaything and one of the hex. Right, okay, now I'm making the thing work. So you can only have that twice per match? Maybe 3 times? I don't know. Yeah, maybe 3 times at a push if you get the timing just right, but I doubt that'll happen. Excuse me. Hex Hive Mind. I like that we're getting more hexes. I love playing with hexes. Okay. The first time you hook any survivor, a dull totem becomes a hex totem. Cool. I'm not really a fan of these conditional activation hexes. I think a hex should just be up from the start of the game, and if you lose it, sucks to suck, I guess. Generators, yeah, I don't like this. It makes nowhere to hide. Not nowhere to hide. Hex Face the Darkness. So obnoxious. I'm not a fan of it on Noed for sure. I think it's just an inconsistency that doesn't need to exist for me. I don't think you really need Noed at this point as a crutch for players. I think they should just make all hex totems so that they have to survive long enough for you to get value. And if that kills Noed as a perk, I'm sure that nobody will cry over that fact. Generators are highlighted. The intensity of generator auras reveals their repair progress. Okay. I don't know about the sound of this. When one generator remains, all remaining generators explode, lose 6, 8, 10% progress, and start regressing, and the hex becomes dull. Oh. Okay. Wait. I like this. I think that's a fun idea. A little ticking time bomb of sorts. Just a little... I think that could be fun. I think that is a really sweet little perk. I actually think they cooked hard on all 3 of these. So I'm excited already just for the perks. New survivor Dustin Henderson. I'm pretty sure I saw the the portrait earlier, I think they actually did get Gaten Matarazzo's likeness for Dustin. So that is pretty cool. We love to see that. Dustin's like a big tech dude. He's a massive nerd. He's way more into like the gadgets and shit than Lucas, Mike, Will. So I don't know, we'll probably see a bit of that in his perks. New survivor perk, Bada Bada Boom. I like that already, that sounds fun. After completing 20% worth of repairs, press ability button 1 next to a window to trap it for 60 seconds. The trap triggers when the killer performs a vault on the window, inflicting them with 50% hindered for 6 seconds. I like that. I think that... I love the fact that perks like this, Chemical Trap, Flashbang, Wiretap, Blast Mine, all require gen progress to unlock their effects. I think that is a really... it's a really healthy limitation on them for me. And I like that it incentivizes new players, players that aren't so certain, players that aren't maybe so objective driven, to engage with the objective as well as enjoying the fun perks. So that they don't just throw your match bullying the killer or whatever. Change of plan. You start with 2 tokens, while inside a locker and holding a non-event toolbox. Why non-event? That is a really obscure restriction. Anyway, holding a non-event toolbox, press ability button 2 to spend a token and transform your toolbox into a medkit of the same that's why, rarity, with a random add-on of the same rarity. Okay. Ooh. The new medkit now has full charge. Do I like this? I don't like this. Dude, I don't like this at all. Dude, you bring like a purple toolbox, you put a brand new part on it, attach the brand new part, the generator's out of charges, you know. You used a brand new part, but at least the toolbox is gone now. You have this perk, you use the brand new part, the toolbox is used up, whatever, hop in a locker, you get a purple medkit, possibly with a styptic attached. I don't like this, and it's the add-on part really that worries me. We have so many strong healing perks in Dead by Daylight right now, so many, that healing interruption is just not remotely realistic at this point. And now you throw this onto the pile. I think that I don't think that's wise. You can have like a full team, bring this perk, have 4 brand new parts, and then if they get lucky, have 4 extremely strong medkits, maybe with 1 or 2 styptics in the mix. That feels kind of crazy to me. But obviously that only works at the price of a purple toolbox, so maybe it is a bit of a... We'll see. I'm not convinced that is wise perk design though. But they're on their healing kick, so I'm not surprised, but I'm not impressed. Teamwork, full circuit. I like the teamwork perks as a concept, I just want to say. I just don't think the ones we've got so far are all that special. Maybe this will prove to be the one that proves this perk gimmick can be something fun and viable in DBD. Or maybe we're all underrating the teamwork perks because they're not as flashy as Boon of Healing or something. Well, let's see. For each other survivor repairing a generator with you, the size of the good skill check zone is increased by 25%. Okay. Good skill check, so they're not getting like 1% extra progress. They're not abusing hyper-focus stakeout or whatever. I like that. While repairing with at least one other survivor, you repair 5% faster. I don't know if I like that. That doesn't sound like much, I know. 5% of a gen is what? 4.5 seconds that you shave off. And it doesn't stack with more survivors. So I like that it's restrained on its own. But prove thyself exists, leader exists, strong toolboxes exist. I think this... I don't think it will be the most crazy, game-breaking, you know, made for this hope combo kind of thing. But I'm not sure I like the sound of this potentially stacking with other things. So yeah. Bada bada boom sounds fun. I like that. Change of plan sounds absolutely god fucking awful, but we shall see. Teamwork full circuit I think could equally be fine, just as much as it could be concerning. The thing that really worries me, that I don't think a lot of people realise, with healing and gen repairs at the minute, is that the problem isn't gen and healing repairs being insanely fast. They were faster when Boon of Healing was meta, you know. They were faster when Stakeout Hyperfocus briefly got... I don't think that got buffed, actually. But there have been times where gen repair and healing have both been stronger than they are now in terms of raw speed. The problem now is that there's so many different options and pathways for healing and repairs that the killer cannot possibly predict how fast they're going to have to... their gens and heals are going to have to be. And they don't know how fast they... how ruthless, I suppose, they're going to have to be with their gameplay until they start to lose ground. That's what I think a lot of people are missing about the current state of Survivor perks. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm putting too much into it. We shall see. I'm not a fan of these two perks in concept. We will try them out, though. We will see. 11! She doesn't get a surname. No Jane Hopper. Okay. Fair enough. Right. Extrasensory perception. After crouching for 4 seconds, you see auras in an expanding radius up to 44 meters. Have elusive and oblivious. They're so desperate to bring this elusive status effect in some way. Like, this is the industry plant of Dead by Daylight. It doesn't matter how over it is with the crowd. It is getting in there. When you stop crouching, or after 11 seconds, the perk enters a 60-second cooldown. What auras do you see? 44 meters is a really big range. That is bigger than Blight and Wesker and Karnaki's terror radiuses. That is massive. But what are you seeing? You're both hidden from the killer and can't detect the terror radius. So it's just about the sight on the killer. Unless it's not the killer, because what auras do you see? It just doesn't say. So I really can't judge that, because I don't know what information it's giving you. Let's move on. We see you. When the killer reveals your aura, gain 1 token. Okay, interesting. When you have 4 tokens, spend all tokens, and you and other survivors see the killer's aura for 15 seconds. That is a long time. If you have that perk and someone else is in chase, free mind games, you know? This perk has a 10-second cooldown. Is there no max tokens? Dude. That could be really strong, actually. But obviously it's dependent on the killer having aura perks. So it'll probably be strongest against Nurse, who loves Nowhere to Hide, I'm All Ears, you know, close range aura. Killers like Blight, Billy, Karnaki, you can use it against because they'll probably have barbecue in their build somewhere. A lot of killers do use Nowhere to Hide, regardless of who they play. It's interesting, for sure. I think it's not a bad thing just because of how powerful Nowhere to Hide is. That getting this little reward for being forced to be completely outplayed by it with nothing you can really do isn't bad, but we'll see. Teamwork soft spoken. Okay, they're committing to the teamwork thing. Fair enough. For each survivor repairing a generator with you, I can feel myself trembling already. The range at which generator repair noise is heard is reduced by 25%. 20... That is so much. I don't mind that. You know, that sounds... That is interesting. That is... Have we ever had a perk? I don't think we've ever had a perk to quieten down gens. We've had, there's a toolbox add-on that does it. I think the gloves, the green gloves. I don't think we've ever had a perk that does that. We have surveillance on the killer side that increases the range you can hear the repairs by 8 meters. But that's not louder, that's further range. While repairing with at least one other survivor, you repair 5% fast. Okay, dude. So already, with soft spoken and full circuit, you're 10% faster because you're repairing with somebody else. Already, with those two, you can have prove thyself and you repair a gen... What? That can say, I imagine that's going to save you a lot of time, especially if you have multiple of each perk. But... Oh, I don't like that. Okay. We'll see. Visual Terror Radius. Updated the 2D version of the Visual Terror Radius heart to be animated. Matches 3D heart behavior. Has its own lullaby version. There's a 2D version of the Visual Terror Radius? Oh yeah, the little heart picture. Okay. If anyone plays 2v8 on the PTB, I will be shocked. The good guy? We're getting Chucky in 2v8. That is interesting. Okay. Torchbearer. Flash grenade. Okay, we're playing fucking Dead by 6 Siege here. Groaning Storehouse, Rotten Field. So we're getting Chucky. Do we not get Legion back? How about instead of removing Legion altogether, you remove Wesker's third dash? Because that's ridiculous. How about instead of removing Legion altogether, you give Blight and Oni some base game nerfs? Or 2v8 specific nerfs, sorry. That was a misspeak. You've shown that you're willing to give specific buffs to killers in 2v8. Why not give Legion and, Blight and Oni and the other insane chase killers that Legion makes so crazy some 2v8 nerfs so that Legion can continue to exist? Because Legion was the first killer in the match, really, that had synergy in a 2v8 sense, because they worked very much as a support unit, other than maybe Trapper, who benefits a lot from having another killer to buy time for him while he sets up. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's... Bring back Legion and give 2v8 nerfs to killers, don't be scared. I don't really care about 2v8. It's really not for me, personally. They're putting a lot of gear into fixing it though. Known issues. Voiceover lines for new survivors are unavailable on the PTB and will be available when 9.4 releases. Okay, so that's Dustin and 11 have no voiceover lines. But from the sound of it, Vecna still will. Interesting. There is a missing interaction cooldown from when the first emerges from an undergate attack, allowing the killer to perform interactions faster than intended. There will be a 1-second cooldown applied for the 9.4 release. Okay. So it is... Let's ignore 2v8, because I don't care about 2v8 even slightly. It is pretty much just a slight quality of life boost for the visual terror radius, which we love to see, and the new survivor and killer perks and the power. And I'm not sure. Extrasensory perception, I think is fine. We see you, I think is fine. Soft-spoken, I'm slightly concerned about. Full circuit, I'm slightly concerned about. Change of plan, I am very, very scared of. I think this is going to be... Oh, this is going to be a disaster, in my view. Bada bada boom. I think this sounds harmless and fun, to be honest. I don't think there's many issues with this perk. You know, not beyond something like Chemical Trap. The only thing I will say, and it's not like a, oh, destroy this perk now, nuke it, skull merchant it, because I don't think that's fair. It will probably be more brutal against M1 killers and weaker killers who don't already need the extra harm done to them. You know, what killers tend to vault? Billy, he'll probably be fine anyway, realistically. Bubba is really, really struggling after so many pallets got injected into the game. Chucky and Legion, need I say more? Vecna, I suppose. Wraith, I suppose. Both will probably suffer. Killers who rely on mind games heavily, like Trapper, Pig, Clown, Myers. Actually, fuck Myers, he can go to hell. But I still don't think that's a problem with the perk. That's a problem with those killers being neglected and too weak to begin with, not with the perk itself. So don't nerf Bada Bada Boom. It's the one survivor perk I think is genuinely fine here. Completely fine. Actually, I lied. Extrasensory Perception's probably fine too. I just don't know what you see with it yet. If you see the killer just for crouching within 44 meters, that's excuse me, that's kind of crazy. And you're completely guarded from them, so it's not even an object deal where you're exchanging information. Right. This is 27 minutes, bro, and I've still got to do actual PTB playtime content. Vecna's perks, I think, are pretty inoffensive, but still quite fun. I think Turn Back the Clock will be a real nice boon to the killers who need it, whilst not being insane on Blight, Nurse, Billy, Karnaki, Krasu anyway, because they would have just as easily applied Pop. So that's Turn Back the Clock, I think, is great in terms of an option that slower killers can use without having to spend a lot of time investing in getting that pop. So thank you for that. That's a cool ass perk. Very, very based off your behavior. Secret Project is probably fine. It's just gimmicky and fun, you know. A little bit of slowdown, a little bit of stealth. No one's going to complain at that, I think. Hive Mind, I actually think, is a really cool idea. I can't lie. I like the ticking time bomb hex kind of idea. I feel like you're going to feel really smug and mastermindly while you're playing that, even if it doesn't end up being the strongest perk in the world. So I fuck with Vecna's perks a lot, actually. But Vecna's power, I'm really uncertain. I like the AoE attack. I think that's interesting and fun. It's a new mechanic that we haven't really seen before on Killer, so we love to see it. I like the token system in theory. I'm not convinced on the locking health states behind World Breaker tokens. But who knows? We will see. Maybe it will be great and I'm just overreacting or underestimating him. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the PTB patch notes. I don't think there's much more to add, frankly. So I'm gonna tap out here. I'm gonna go play some PTB, maybe stream it to my friend, maybe record it so I have some background footage for my final thoughts. And then I'll upload the second half of this, or record the second half of this, put it together, and you will know my thoughts on Vecna, on the perks, having played with and against them a little bit. So that will be fun, hopefully. I'll see you in maybe a couple of hours, I don't know. Bye. Oh, okay. We are here. Yeah, let's jump straight into it and take a look at Vecna and the survivors one by one. We're just going to be looking at their model at first. I don't know where my killer levels are, I'm concerned. We're just going to be taking a look at the killer model first. The first, that's his name confirmed in-game. We've already read the perks, so we're just going to take a look. Oh wow.
Nothing can stop this now.
He's got the same theme as demo, which is interesting. Oh, what's that about? Please don't freeze, for God's sake. Are we good? No, don't close the program, I'm still recording. I don't know how much I just lost. This is Vecna, he's here. He, to his credit, looks genuinely pretty frigging cool. So, I can't fault them on this model. This model is great. You can't rotate it at the minute. You can't see it, but I'm spinning my mouse right now. You can't move him, unfortunately. And if we look in the store, he should have Scion of the Upside Down. Oh wow, look at that.
Will join me.
He's got some voice lines. He looks a little bit knackered here. I like it though. Put your toes away. I won't be buying this skin. Yeah, he looks great though. I'm not mad at this model. Okay. We need to get rid of all this. Let's go and look at the survivors real quick. We have Dustin Henderson. Oh wow, look at him. His little coat is so cute. Wow. Okay. I love that they went into this outfit. It's great. I hope they have more. We take a look. We do have more. We have Game Night. Oh, we have the Hellfire Club for him. That's awesome. And Eddie's a skin for him. Interesting. He looks awesome, to be fair. Nice going, Eddie Munson. There will be a likelihood that I see a lot of this guy, I think. And then we have 11. And what a gal. She looks awesome, dude. I don't know about this outfit. The shorts and joggers aren't necessarily my favourite vibe, but you know, it's what she wore in Season 5, so I'm not surprised, per se. These have got to be like the youngest, if not close to the youngest survivors we've had. Let's take a look. We've got Molestar 11. Oh, that outfit's cute. I'll probably pick that up at some point. And then if I look at Nancy, where's Nancy? There. We should have, the new model looks pretty damn good, by the way. I like that they puffed out her jaw a bit, made her look a bit more Nancy Wheeler. We should have, yeah, Robin's here. Robin Buckley is in Dead by Daylight, and that is insane. It's Scoops Ahoy Robin, because of course it is. The Scoops Ahoy uniform was too iconic to miss. Wow, we got Robin Buckley in Dead by Daylight. That's crazy. I love Maya Hawke. I will be for definite picking that up. Right. Let's go ahead and open a custom lobby then. No, that's a kill lobby. Custom game. Oh. That was a noise. We still can't rotate him here, which is mildly annoying, but we'll live. We are going to add in a 11 and a... Should we just make it a whole Stranger Things squad?